Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of American over in Germany. Today, I'm not even going to say rare and exotic whiskeys here. Today I have Evan Williams single barrel. I have a single barrel 2011, 2012, 2013, and I have these weird blue glasses. Well, why? Because I'm going to taste them blind. Not at the beginning. I'm going to have a second round where I test them blind. I'm going to have a third round where I compare them to three other products as well. So I get to have a little bit of fun today. At the beginning of my YouTube channel, over 5 years ago in German, I did this a lot, like once a week. I would have 6 bottles, I would have my blue glasses out, and I would be tasting those. There's still some of my best viewed videos out there because people like to have those challenges. Unfortunately, many of the bottles that I did back then are no longer available or changed or have been replaced by something else, and so I decided to start doing that as well a little bit. So I'm going to pour, and then I'm going to show why I'm tasting what I have here exactly and give you my first impression of these. Now, my personal opinion are these types of glasses they do smell different and even sometimes taste different than my normal Glencairn glasses. So I'm going to do from the very beginning everything in the blue glasses. So what do I have here? So I have a bottle here that was bottled on the 18th of August, 2011. I think it is barrel number 917. And it was bottled then on the 7th of August, 2019. So it's missing the date of 8 years by just a few weeks. All right, so tasting it again. I like this. This has dark tobacco. It has a little bit of leather. It has cherries and fruits. Bursting with flavor. This is very, very nice. All right, so the second one that we have here is from 2012. So let's pour this a little bit. Let's show you the label. Gotta always cover up my face. So what do we have here? Let's turn down the screen brightness. We have something here from the 12th of June 2012, barrel number 1741, and it was then I totally said that wrong. It's always month, date, year in America. So it was the 6th of December 2012. It was on the 18th of December 20. So this is over 8 years old. Yay. So this is the oldest. This is 8. Barely. This is almost 8. Now the thing about single barrels are they are different. It's not just the year, it's the barrel and so on. I have a more mineral type of moment here. Apparently the wood and the oak was different than here. Maybe the seasons were different and so on. I'm not a big fan of the 12, to be honest. All right, and let's go over to the 13. Got a weird kind of off taste there a little bit. So the 13 here, pour a little bit in the glass. Hold it up in front of the camera for you to see. So zoom in there. Excellent. Very, very good. So we have barrel 103. I have no idea how they do the barrel. So this is 917 and this is 1000. They go back to 103. Who knows? And this is from the 20th of December 2013. And it was then bottled on the, let's say, the 19th of January 2021. All right, so that means it barely reached the 7-year point. All right, so we have a 7-year-old, we have an 8-year-old, we have an almost 8-year-old. It does pop with some cherry. If I were to rank these, it does feel a tiny bit younger. There's a little bit of that alcohol bite in there. Alcohol bite, cherry, mineral, some a little chalky, And this is the quintessential bourbon for me, single barrel Evan Williams, with the leather, with the tobacco, with the cherries, with the fruit. Yummy, yummy, yummy. So 1, 2, 3. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to pour a little bit more in here in the glasses. Yay, Jason gets to drink a little bit today. And what we're going to do is we're going to switch them around a little bit, do a switcheroo here, and confuse myself so that when I taste them blind, I don't know which one is which. And then I'll actually then put them in another order and see what happens there. So on the bottom of the glasses, there are nice little labels here. So for those of you that want to look, there's a label. We have here the A, we have here the C, and we have here the F. All right, so you can see what's going on here. I'm going to confuse myself by actually just moving these around and doing different things, and I don't know what's going where. And it's so easy to confuse me. I mean, have you ever had those guys with the hat with the little tricks and under the cups and so on? I could never follow it, even especially when I'm talking and so on. I don't know which one's which. All right, so I'm going to nose them first of all. Not bad. Better. All right, good. Put them in that order of smelling. This is the worst. This is the best. Let's see if they're actually going to be the same order as I thought they were. As I remember, I like the 11, the 13, and then the 12. Let's put this in the picture. Yay. All right, let's try down here. You can maybe see what that is. I can't. I do get that mineral type of moment there. I think this is the 12. We will find out in a moment. I really need to drink a lot of water while doing this. Blind tasting is work. All right, my second favorite. I like the nose. It's a tiny bit weaker, and it has more of an alcohol bite towards the end. So if I'm right, this is going to be the 2013. Yeah. Mineral, weak, and alcoholic. And so this should be my 2011. Let's see if I'm right. And it might actually be totally different. This should pop in my mouth, and this should give me this wonderful experience of goodness. Much fruitier. Leather, tobacco, tiny little bit of wood, a little bit of wood tannins here. Okay, I'm going to leave them sit exactly as they are. I'm not sure if I like the finish here or not. Oh, wow. I'm still going to let it sit. So, as I said, I think this is a 2012. The 2012 would be my... Nope, it's C. It's the 11-year-old. 11-year-old is in the back, which is weird, but hey, that's what happens when you do blind tasting. So this could therefore be my 2012, and this is my 2013. This is funny because I did this in my German video, and I got exactly the same results. I had the youngest at the beginning and the oldest at the end, which I did not believe, and I did it again. All right. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to add 3 more bottles to the mix, and then this order will be mixed up as well if I have similar results as before. Now, just to make my life a little bit more interesting, I changed most of the bottles compared to my German video. All right, so I'm going to keep in the run is my Buffalo Trace 45%. I, I like this a lot, and this was something that I personally preferred. What I'm going to add now is a second Buffalo Trace product, the Eagle Rare. All right, the 10-year-old, which should be better than the Buffalo Trace. Hopefully I don't screw this up. And the last thing which I've added, which is also new here, is the Michters. The Michters straight bourbon here in the small batch. I have here batch number L18J1443. All right. So give me a second. I'm going to pour the glasses now, and I will inform you what's in which glass. All right, I decided just to pour these things in front of you anyway, so let's just do this together. All right, so we have here glass D, and D is going to be Eagle Rare. All right, don't worry, I'll be able to switch them up in a moment, and then I won't know what's what anyways in a moment. So, all right, let's pour in enough so this tastes at least twice. Then we have glass E, which is going to be Michters. All right, so let's pour a little bit into E, which means Buffalo Trace will be the last one. So and the last one's going to be here are B, and that is Buffalo Trace. All right, very good. Okay, okay, let's fill these glasses up as well. F was the 13. So we're going to get rid of the bottles. Good. So I forgot to mention a little bit of the prices here, to be honest. So A was the 12. So the Evan Williams single barrel here has a normal price in Germany of 39 euros. The bottle of Buffalo Trace has a price of about 32 euros. C is the 11. And the bottle here of Eagle Rare over here has a price at the moment of around, oh, it's not even on my list. So 1 second. So, and the Michters is around 50. Ouch. I think the Michter is a little bit too expensive for what we have there. All right, good. So 1 second here. The Eagle Rare lookup moment here. We are at Eagle Rare, 10 years. We're still at a price of 38 euros, which is great. Now, before I start here, I forgot to mention one little factor that I wanted to talk about real quick. It says on each and every bottle here of the Evan Williams, the integrity of a single barrel bourbon. This whiskey was personally selected by our master distiller. Now, who is the master distiller of Heaven Hill? I really didn't know. I mean, that was really something where I was like, oh no. Now, Parker Beam, we remember. But this is the 7th master distiller at Heaven Hill, and his name is, some of you know, Connor O'Driscoll. And yes, the name is Irish, and the guy is Irish. All right, so he arrived in the U.S. in 1990 with a chemical engineering degree with a focus on yeast and fermentation. In the around 2000s, he moved over to Louisville, and he actually started his career in the American whiskey business with Brown-Forman in 2004. And in January of 2019, so all these bottles were picked after 2019, he was appointed master distiller at Heaven Hill. So he's been there for a few years now, not many, but a few. And I totally forgot. I've seen 1 or 2 interviews with him online, but totally out of my realm here. I mean, we know with Wild Turkey, the Russells, and we know with Buffalo Trace and so on, but we just often forget who is the master distiller at Heaven Hill. So Heaven Hill is a weird thing anyways. Their visitor center is in the middle of nowhere, close to their warehouses, but not really close to their distillery. So they have two distilleries, the Bernheim and the other distillery in Louisville. But hey, and they produce a massive amount of liquid here. They produce here, they have 17 fermenters which hold 124,000 gallons each. That, by the way, for everyone who's more metric like me, that is over 400,000 liters. And would they empty and refill many of those every day? And they have three 70-foot, over 20 meters, 6 feet, about 2 meters, column still, beer stills. And the scale is just mind-boggling what they're actually producing on liquid there, on spirits. It really is a wow moment there. All right, so I really have no idea what's going on here and what I've done, where I put which one. And all right, so what we're going to do is just going to nose them. As I mentioned before, we have a wilderness. We don't have a wilderness trail. I want to have a wilderness trail. We have here a Eagle Rare. We have a Buffalo Trace. We have a Michter's bourbon, as well as 3 single barrels here. Here's my little card on the information, all that I need there. First, I'm going to nose them. And I'm actually just going to write down the nose on a new piece of paper here. And then you can follow along and see what the nose is going to be like. And then I'm going to write down actually here on a separate piece of paper. On the same piece of paper on the back, I'm going to write down then what my order is here for my tasting. All right. So on the nose, get a little bit of pepper. That is not a single barrel from Evan Williams. This is different. Not my favorite. This sometimes neutralizes my nose. I get my leathers and my fruits and my tobacco and my pecan nuts. Very, very good. I like as well, not as much. I like as well, even better. I got blackberries that time. Weird. Why don't I like this one? It's different. It's sour. It's a little bit not really what I want here. All right, so I have to redo these. I'm going to put this in front of that. Nope, that's got more alcohol. That does have a little bit more of a leathery moment here. That's a little bit off. Not perfect. All right. So I have my order here. I'm going to write that down for me and for you. So at the very back, the weirdo of the pack is the B. I have no idea what the B is at the moment, but that's the weirdo. All right. Over here, I have then the D. Don't know which one that one is either. Then we have the E. We do have the A. We have the C. And at the very, very front, we have F. So FCAEDB. So for everyone to look, that's the order. We're starting with F here. Yeah, starting with F here, and then working our way the other way. Wow, Jason, good. So this is the front, and it goes that way. Good. All right, so let's try these. Now it's going to be a little bit of work here, and I'm constantly going to have this in front of me to see what happens, because often in my life, what happens is that the best nose is not necessarily the best tasting whiskey. Often, but not always. So let's pull these back a tiny little bit here for us as well, so we can see them. All right, good. We're starting off with B. Something, as I said, is off. Pencil shavings. Yeah, not really sure about this one. One more time. Mm. B tastes much better than it smelled. Um, I think that's going to move up. That for me somehow tastes like a benchmark bourbon. There's no wow, but it's definitely there and it goes, oh, this is how bourbon should taste. So I'm not really sure if that's going to be the same thing. It's going to move up, I'm sure. All right, let's cleanse the palate. Now, I should say, kids, don't try this at home. Well, kids shouldn't be drinking alcohol anyways. All right, don't try this at home. 6, this is only for professionals or idiots or whatever. I'm more towards the second group. Cheers. Hmm. B is better than our D. Um, there's a little bit of an astringency at the end, a little bit of mineral moment. Don't like it. I like B much, much better. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. All right, good. Moving on here to my E. Mm. Mm. Hmm. Yes, but it's got a tiny little bit of that alcohol moment towards the end. Um, and the aftertaste is a little bit bitter, which I did not get at all with B. B's winning here. All right, wow. Interesting, the nose didn't appeal to me, and yet the taste is really, really hitting home as a standard. All right, moving on now to our A. Like the smell? Mmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. A tiny bit weak. B is still better. Now, I'm not really sure if these two should be competing against each other here for 4th and 5th place. Wow, why was B so on the nose wrong or not nice, and now I'm just loving it? Come back to that in a second. All right, moving on to C here. What happens with C? Now, I'm not going to try to identify them yet. All right, if I do identify them, I'm going to be totally wrong, anyways. All right, this is all about my flavor profile. It's all about what I think these should be ranked and which one I'd recommend the most blind. So let's see what happens here. As I said, we're now on C. Hmm. 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 Fruity goodness. A little bit of a leather. Oh yeah, that's better than B. C is a winner for me. I like C a lot. I like C a lot. Very, very nice. That just might be a single barrel Evan Williams. Who knows? Moving over to our F here. Let's see what we have here. Now, I'm starting to get a tiny little bit of palate fatigue, but I'm gonna march on and try to do my best. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think I like the C better than the F. All right, so C is gonna win. Bam. These two I have to try with versus each other. These two and the D. I don't know what happened here, but I just don't like the D. The nose is okay, but not the taste here. All right, so let's go for the positions 2 and 3. Which one do I prefer? Is it going to be F or is it going to be B? B moved all the way up from last place. Amazing. All right, so first the F. Mm-hmm. a tiny bit watery, and a tiny bit towards the end, we have a little bit of an alcohol type of artificial taste. But it's got some fruit, it's got some leather, it's got some good stuff going here. All right, so in comparison, now our B, our secret winner of the hearts, the underdog. B beats F, whatever that is. We'll talk about that in a second. All right, but B and C, C is better than B. So we have C, B, and then we have F. All right. Over here, position 4 and 5. What are we going to go for? 4 is A and 5 is E. A is better than E on the nose, still. Getting the corn, getting a little bit of a bite from the alcohol. Now, all 5 of these I would buy any day of the week. D, I'm not sure. And now the E, one last cleansing of the palate. And then it's time for the reveal. Our E had more mineral moments. Also a little bit more of a cherry moment, fruity moment. I must admit the E has a better palate and a better mouthfeel than the A. All right, now probably I have my order of my single barrels from the Evan Williams totally wrong again. I can live with that. Hey, it's blind, it's in a comparison, it's quickly done, and it's just one of those things. So I'm going to write down my score here, and then we're going to see what happened. So C is now at the front. B moved all the way up to number 2. F fell down to number 3. E stayed right where it was. A moved down, unfortunately, as well as the D fell down a little bit. All right, so we have at the top, we have the scores of the nosing, and at the bottom, we have the scores of the tasting. Now, the tasting is more important than the nosing, so it's all about now the reveal about the taste. All right, so I would like to find out what D is, and so I have my card over here, and my D is, and I'm going to hate myself for the rest of my life. That can't be. What's wrong with D? D is Eagle Rare. I love Eagle Rare. I did not prefer the smell, and I did not like the taste. I love and hate blind tastings. I would never have put this at the bottom of the pile. I would have put that at the top. Apparently today is not an Eagle Rare 10 a day. There is more wood. That's that tannins there. In comparison, apparently today I like something that's a little bit woody, less woody, a little bit sweeter, and a little bit younger. All right, so I am not going to like the results here. All right, let's move on here to the second one. That is going to be A, and A is our 12-year-old. So our, not 12-year-old, the 2012 single barrel. All right, good. Now, as I talked about, it's more of a mineral type of moment here. I've had this, all right, let's do this differently here. We're going to put this in front so you can actually see them. All right, so I hate the fact that the Eagle Rare is in the back here. It's not where it should be, but blind tasting is just one of those things. All right, so I don't know. All right, so the fourth position, E goes to our 2000 and E goes to our Michters. I can't differentiate between an M and an L. Shame on me. Michters. All right, so I did not really love the Michters. So interesting that it was position number 4 on the nose as well as tasting. All right, so that means we actually have 3 single barrels still in the front, and we somehow have our Buffalo Trace. I prefer, and this is weird, today I prefer the Buffalo Trace 45% versus the Eagle Rare 45%. Shame on me. All right, so we have here our F, if I read correctly, and the F is the 13-year-old from our single barrel. So, very good. So, and then we have here the B, which is our Buffalo Trace. Whoa, don't pick bottles up by the cork. They might pop out. And the best one that I liked the entire time was C, which was the 2011. Now, to be very honest, I had in German almost exactly the same thing. I preferred the 2011 the best, and then it was the 13, and then it was the 12. So now Buffalo Trace also scored very well, also in the German video that I did blind. It was not last, it was 5th, and it moved up to 2nd place as well. Now these two are totally new, and I do not understand why the Eagle Rare is so far in the back, but that's the way it is today. All right, so yeah. WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of American. I used to do a lot of these tastings, and I maybe know why I stopped. They are somewhat humbling to say the least. But today my palate just did not like the Eagle Rare, and I'm still going to be crying into my pillow tonight, asking myself, why? Why, Jason? And apparently the Buffalo Trace is more what I want today. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for liking. Thank you very much for subscribing. My question of the day is from Heaven Hill. What is your favorite product under $50? Ooh. I'm sure you can get a Evan Williams single barrel under $50, but can you get a bottle of Wow, the Elijah Craig barrel proof? I can't. So what is your favorite Heaven Hill product under $50? Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, tell others. Bye-bye.